Listen, I had to take my hat off for this. This is a hot take. This is a hot take. Hot take. I ain't gonna lie. I genuinely believe, and let me get closer to the camera. I genuinely believe that J. Cole does not have a classic album. Now let me explain. Forest Hill Drive is a phenomenal album. Again, probably his best album that to date, in my opinion. I feel like throughout the years he has been getting way better when it comes to the pen. He's been writing way better as of recently, but there's just something that's not clicking in my opinion when it comes to his pen. A lot of his music right now is very cookie cutter. I ain't gonna lie. It's formulaic. Nothing's going on. Forest Hill Drive was so different because he had so many messages. He was talking about something. It was more concise. It was interesting. But there are a lot of skips in the album. And I ain't gonna lie. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the biggest stan of his music. There's skips inside a lot of his albums. There's a lot of duds. And for me to say that an album is a classic, it means that if I listen to the music, I can listen to it from start to finish. And a lot of the songs in Forest Hill Drive did not age appropriately. Born a Sinner, very flawed album. It is one of the most poppy albums that J. Cole has ever made. His discog has had better albums. Of course, everybody can agree with it. And then let's go down to I want to say Off Season. Off Season is an okay album. It was a moment. It came and went. Just like KOD, it was a good album at the moment. It came and went. There was messages and things that I liked in it, but at the end of the day, I felt like the voice manipulation to have the deep voice or whatever inside the album and all this, it was a little cringe. And with time, it even became even more cringe. I ain't gonna lie, it started actually sounding worse. So again, that's me. His recent album I delete later. He should have deleted it now. It fails because all this talk about him being the best and him talking this shit inside the album is great. I love it. It's amazing. And then you get to the last track, which was the diss for Kendrick Lamar, and then he also apologizes for that track and then takes it off of the album. I cannot respect that. The whole album just feels like a dud. It feels like every song in the album is just capped because again, when it came to push come to shove, and he was supposed to, fight for his word and be the best ever to ever do it, he folded like a damn lawn chair. He folded like the damn clothes he was talking about on For Your Eyes Only. Now, For Your Eyes Only has probably my favorite J. Cole track of all time, which is the title track For Your Eyes Only. I feel like he has a lot of songs in there that is really good. But again, it's a short album and there's also a few skips. Folding Clothes is the ass song. What other song is bad? Deja Vu. That is a horrible song. One of the worst love songs that he's ever made, in my opinion. Immortal, I'm not listening to that like that. I'm gonna be honest. It's not as hidden as it was back in the day. You know what I mean? And I'm never gonna say that For Your Eyes Only is gonna be a classic at all. And only reason I put this out there to say is because when we talk about the big three, even though I said the big three not necessarily a thing, and I tend to agree. But if we thinking about the big three, J. Cole was always just kind of like the interchangeable person because Drake has a classic album. Kendrick has multiple classic albums. Everybody in that list has classical albums, but he does not have a classic. And the more we think about that, the more I'm even thinking like, yo, other than numbers, J. Cole doesn't necessarily have that much to offer. Now he does have the best voice. I feel like his pen again is improving, but he has not yet dropped the album to where I am definitively being like, okay, this is the one, and I fuck with it, and this is considered a classic. Even though all his fans will say, oh, this is a classic album, blah, blah, blah. It's not. It's not. And we need to grow up. We need to understand that just because your favorite artist doesn't have a classic album doesn't mean that he isn't seen as a good rapper. It's just that he cannot be considered one of the best. Now, that is how I feel. Let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm right. I'm gonna head out.